YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to Yeti Lists, the one and only channel on YouTube, but the only one that matters anyway. That's not true. Because this video today, the definitive, the only ever, the first and definitely the last, Ask the Historians, Binding of Isaac Boss Definitive Tier List Edition, brought to you live and direct, sponsored by the insanely talented, the wonderful, the inspiring, the instantly mood-lifting, the beautiful, just absolutely stunning, definitely not backpedaling for something that may or may not have been screenshotted in Genshin chat last night, the incredible Queen, youtube.com/ and then I guess just hit enter and then type in the search bar, Maria Fisher Harp, Maria Fisher Mifa's theme, new music coming soon edition. Oh, we've had a little suggestion. Maria suggested. I just want to. Look, I've got some disclaimers before I get into this video. I know the lines in front of my face. This is why I record my reactions the other way, and this is why I record the Yeti Plays videos in the evening when the lighting is different. But I was just excited to do this one. I'm like a Labrador. I say this all the time. You get me excited for something. It's all that's on my mind until the moment's over. You know what I mean? I wanted to get this tier list done. Maria suggested it, not just to myself, to the group, which means that, you know, and I extend that. I echo that suggestion. I'm doing this myself now. Josh, if you're watching this, Not So Livid, if you're watching this, and you get a chance to do it, maybe let me know your thoughts as well. Maria was like, hey, you boys, you YouTube folk, should do a little Isaac Boss tier list, or an Isaac based tier list, and here I am doing an Isaac Boss tier list because when Maria tells me to do something, you know the rest. Disclaimers before I get into this. I have two disclaimers. First of all, look, it's the elephant in the room. I have to address it. I would be, if I didn't say it, people would be typing in the comments. They'd be screaming at the television sets. Look, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my fringe. I know. I look like I've just failed an audition for a One Direction cover band. I know it's rough. The thing is, I know I need to get it cut. We're in lockdown. I don't know if I mentioned before. I may have mentioned before. We're in lockdown. 2 more months. I know what I'm doing tonight. Now that it's been extended. WikiHow. Someone teach me how to cut hair, please. And you know what? I've been looking for some content for the main channel. I wanted to do something out there because fuck knows what I even do with that channel anymore. Maybe I'll just cut my hair for a video. That could be fun. Who knows? We'll see. I know it's not great. There's not much I can do right now. To be honest with you, there's not much I can do right now. Barbers is closed. What do you want me to tell you? This is the life that I'm living right now. This is the life. This is the world we were given. These were the hands we were given. This is the life we're living. Let's use them and let's start fighting to make it a world worth living in. Deuteronomy 28. What was I saying? A little Bible joke for you. A little Bible joke, because you know he's talking about the being blessed in the land the Lord has given you. Little Bible joke. Any Genesis fans out there? Little land of confusion Bible joke for you. What was my other disclaimer? Okay, my other disclaimer. It's been 5 minutes already. The boy talks too much. I'm gonna pull up my capture, and then we're gonna get started with our list while I give my second disclaimer of the day. We'll talk about my ranks in a mere moment. Let me just say this. Maria suggested this initially, and then we were talking about it further on like Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whatever. When we were talking about it, and she was like, oh yeah, you should do an Isaac tier list, so that could be fun. And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking of doing the boss one you suggested. I believe she asked, she was like, oh, do you know all the bosses though? Maybe she asked if I knew all the items. I think she was like, do you know all the bosses though? And I was like, I believe I responded enthusiastically with an, of course I do. I have 600 hours in the game. For anyone watching this who isn't in the sun went behind clouds, dude. Perfect. Stay there. Clouds don't move. Do I know all the bosses? Enthusiastically, yes. And the clouds moved. I know all the bosses. However, when I was prepping for this last night, I hate it. It's massive. The problem is I had a shower, right? I had a shower, and then was like straight out of the shower was like, I've been up and down the stairs. I've washed some clothes. I've been hoovering. I've been moving stuff around, and it dried in motion. So now it's just Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, dude, I know all the bosses. What kind of joke is I have 600 hours in the video game? I know all the bosses. When I was prepping last night and I got the tier list ready to go, I found the one I wanted to use. I don't have a clue what half these things are. I swear half this shit I've just never seen in my entire life. Like, some of this could be anything, man. Some of them it's like, oh yeah, dude, it's Monstro. But then I look at like, I mean, what the fuck is this, dude? What is this? What is this? Like, what is this a diaper? Like, what even is half this stuff? This is Loki, but why is he split in half? So apparently I just haven't played as much of the game as I thought I did. That said, disclaimer out of the way. Third disclaimer. I gave this disclaimer in front of my Genshin video and people still dislike the heck out of it, but fuck it, dude. Weebs, what can you do? I am not very smart and I have bad opinions. So let's now that we know that we're in a self-aware situation, this is don't take anything I say seriously at all. Is pretty much if you've stumbled across this somehow and you don't know me, the survival guide tip number 1 and the only tip you're ever gonna need is don't take anything that I say seriously at all. Just don't put any merit on any of the words that leave my mouth. That said, the tiers today, it had some default tiers. For comparison purposes, S, A, B, C, D, E, etc. But and you'll see if you click the link in the description for the raw one, it had it filled in. It was like, hey, a boss that hits me lots, a boss that doesn't hit me ever, a boss that I can do without being hit. So I changed them myself. We've gone for outstanding, a joy to share the field of battle with. Pretty good. I like this boss. I would say above average. This thing is average. This one kind of sucks, IMO. And your effing DS. Get out of my face. I think you should leave fans in the chat that know what your effing DS stands for. We don't say those words around here, we just imply them. The YouTube DeepMind algorithm hasn't figured out about implications yet. Your effing DS. Your DS. So, with that said, let's do a little bit of a Binding of Isaac boss's tier list. Look, the sun's it's gonna come and go. It's gonna come and go. Okay, so what have we got here? Okay, so just for the record, yeah, I really, like, even the bosses I know, I'm sure, I'm confident in 600 hours I've fought every boss on here. I skip through the little cutscene things, because everyone does, but I skip through cutscenes in, like, pretty much everything. That I've ever played, so I definitely have skipped. I didn't even know this game had lore until like a month ago, and it came up in a conversation in a group chat, and I was like, I didn't know this game had a story, if you want to call it that. So if I say names wrong, I was like, maybe I'll research them, but I was like, you know what, maybe we'll just embrace. I watch, we all watch a lot of Dan content. We've established I have no original ideas on this channel. I either steal them from Northern Lion, or I steal them from Dan Giesling, or I steal them from apparently Maria now as well. So, but I thought it just, I'm not, you know what, if I don't know their names, I'm just gonna call them something else. Like, oh, it's Big Meat Boy. That was probably not the best example of a fake name I could have come up with. Anyway, oh, Big Meat Boy, that was my nickname in maybe in college would be better than high school. So I am trying to move this guy, it's just not letting me right now. I'm like clicking him and I'm dragging. This is Headless Horseman. I actually think, I would say, in terms of boss design and fighting him, I would say this is a B tier boss. This is an above average boss in my opinion. I think he is at the level he tends to show up at as a boss. I think he's the right level of difficulty. He's not too difficult, but he's not easy either. I think they balance there are a few bosses that are multiple kind of enemies at once. I think he's a good balance. His the two parts of him feel roughly equal to fight against. I think they contribute different things to the fight, different edges to the fight. I think he's a decent boss. I don't think he's too hard. I don't think he's too easy. And I think he also works as well with the curve when he comes back later in the game in individual rooms or against Mega Satan, etc. I would say he's above average. Blindfolded Horseman with a head. You don't see this guy very often. I would say this guy is average. I think he's honestly, like, he's still not too hard or too easy. I just don't think he does much, right? Like, I don't think he brings much to the table. I can't even remember many of his attacks. He does the thing where he shoots across the screen with, like, all its horses. And then that's basically all I can remember from him. So I just think he's, of the various horses, I just think he's probably the least interesting. which is why he probably drops down a little bit for me when you compare him to the likes of. I know my webcam covers up the text a little bit here, so just you know, it is what it is. Okay, now I think this one is Death. I would say he is above average, and for the most part, I like the horse designs. I like the horses as bosses, as themes, and just the whole like series of them. I like what they did with it. I like how they theme them. I like how they vary them from each other. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Oh my god, that was fucked up. Oh my god. Oh, I just lost a year of my life. That was my alarm. That was my alarm that I set when I was going to sleep last night, and I was intending on sleeping, and that was the alarm that was supposed to wake me up. But then instead, I just lay in bed with my eyes closed, but not sleeping for 2 hours, and then eventually gave up and got out of bed and went on with my day anyway. And I forgot to cancel my alarm when I didn't end up sleeping, which happens every time. It happens every time. It's a regular occurrence for me. I'm not a great sleeper. I never remember to turn my alarm off when I decide to get up. Holy shit, that was terrifying. Usually I'm not sat in front of a camera when that happens though. Is my camera still on? It is, even though you can't see shit. Fuck me, that was scary. What was I saying? I like the horses. War, he can go up here. Again, I like the scythes. I like when he splits. War does something a little bit different, because when you beat the first phase, he kind of runs around, which is something a little bit different. He's the only horse that does that, which I think is fun. And yeah, I like how the horses vary. Like this one is split from the go. This one, he splits off and he floats, and then his horse shoots across. This guy runs at you. I don't remember what happens with this guy. Oh, his head pops off, right? And then this guy just becomes the head. I like the horses as a theme, and for that reason, I think for the most part, I'm just going to put them all in above average, which doesn't do great for my bell curve right now. And if you've seen any of my tier lists before, you'll know that I'm a bit of a slut for the bell curve. To the point where it almost influences me more than they should. Like sometimes I think subconsciously I try and fit them within like a regular sort of standard deviation, when I could just do them as I actually feel. I like them all though. I think they're all like a good difficulty. Basically everything I said about this guy as a boss I think applies to all of them, and then I like the way they sort of mix them around thematically. I like it. I like the horses. Just Conquest I think is underwhelming. Conquest! That was a Greninja moment. That was when Dan had no idea what Greninja was, and then suddenly he was like, "Oh yeah, it's Greninja." So that maybe that'll happen more actually. Hopefully they just come to me. This is the thing. I've played so much of this game. There's no way I haven't fought any one of these bosses. It's just like trying to summon that information to the front of my brain. So hopefully my subconscious just takes over here. Conquest. The Matriarch. Your effing DS, get out of my face right now. I never want to see this freak in my life again. If I never fought this thing again in my life, it would have been too late. Because this thing is hell. There is no sweeter feeling in the Binding of Isaac, Rebirth, Afterbirth, Anti-Birth Plus than having a strong run and just wiping this bitch off the face of the planet. Objectively, or at least objectively to me, this is too fucking hard. It's too hard. It's too difficult. You can't. It's too hard. It shoots at you. It drops chubs. It has the floaty things that you break and then they shoot chubs out of the side at you. It can spawn big chubs. It can shoot at you. It has so much health, and then even when you kill the fucking thing, it becomes chub. It does too much, and it creates too many things that also have their own attacks, because those are all its attacks. But then the floaty things also have an attack. And then the little chubs have an attack, and then it spawns a big chub which has 2 attacks. It's too much. It's shit. I hate it. And it spawns so ill. It spawns at like, you get it at like womb 1 when half the time you're not even like overpowered. I'm not equipped to deal with that garbage. I hate it. I hate it with a burning passion. It's the worst thing I've seen in my entire life, and it just shouldn't exist. Your effing DS, get out of my face. Big round sisters of some description, bouncy sisters, round bouncy sisters. I actually kind of like these things. It's funny, I would probably say, I'm going to put them average. I don't think they're like super, super great, but also I don't think they're bad either. I actually think this is just a fine boss, and a perfectly decent complement to the video game, The Binding of Isaac. They have that one attack where they roll at you, and as we'll discover when we get to whichever boss it is that almost exclusively rolls at you, or slides at you, I hate that attack. I'm terrible at dodging it. But I actually quite like them. I like when they link up with their little laser and they kind of blast their lasers into me. They kind of open their mouths and patiently wait for for the laser spit. And you know, like, sometimes you find things that you relate to in weird places. I like them. I think they're fun. I like the dynamic of one gets killed and the other one gets mad. Although most of the time, by the time you kill the first, and there's that boss in Gungeon has a boss like that, right? The bullet twins or whatever they're called. You kill the one twin, the second gets mad. I like that. I think it's a fun dynamic, fun little boss. I just think it's nothing like too crazy compared to some of the other stuff that's going to go a bit further up. Hush, the thing about Hush is an interesting one for me. So obviously his health is it scales, right? I don't fight Hush very often. His health scales, so in terms of difficulty, and his attacks are pretty much the same every time. But I like him because he is the bullet hell boss. Obviously the game has a lot of bullet hellish moments or bullet hell influence throughout it, but he's like the bullet hell boss. Like, that's the whole thing. It's just dodge him and shoot this massive target that doesn't move very much. Once you figured him out, he's not too difficult. You only tend to fight him anyway if you've got a strong run, or a run that you're confident in, because obviously, you know, you've got to beat Womb 2 in under 30 minutes to even get there. So you need a decent run to even get to him in the first place, and you know, it's a decision whether you want to fight him or not. I think he's interesting. I think he has a little bit of an unfair advantage, which I'm not going to put into the judging too much, with the fact that he has like his own floor, where you get the chests and then the shop and then the 2 item rooms, which obviously most enemies don't get. So it's a slightly different dynamic. I'm gonna put him. I would say above average, just because he's something a little bit different. Actually, you know what? I like this boss. I actually like Hush. I know I don't fight him very often. I like the bullet hell nature of him. I think part of it's a little bit unfortunate that it's so pattern based, but that's just kind of the nature of the game. You know, Isaac and Blue Baby are the same, because the patterns are very easy to learn, and then once you learn them, it is what it is. So maybe it's not entirely bullet hellish, but I like him. He's a nice boss. This is Ragman, but flying. I know this isn't Ragman. I know what Ragman looks like because we talk about him all the time, because he's a pain in the dick hole, the D hole. Sorry. This is floating Ragman. This is Rag Floater, Rag Ghost, or something like that. I actually like this boss for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I think part of it is because he doesn't have much health, so he feels like quite weak. If you've got a strong run, you pretty much shred him. He's basically butter. And if you've got like an average run, or if you play him early on, I think he's a good early boss because he's not too difficult. I like the balls that come at you one by one. It feels like there's a bit of progression in the fight. I feel like his spawning isn't too strong. I don't know. I just, as a design, I just think he looks cool. I think he's just a cool looking boss. And I like, oh, here's Ragman. And I like the visual design of Ragman as well, to be fair. I think Ragman looks cool. I like the sort of Egyptianist theme with like the bandages and stuff. I just think he looks dope. I think, and the floaty purple balls. He looks like a Pokemon. Like a Gengar or something. He's just a cool looking boss. I like him. I'm a big fan. This guy's just called Big Horn, right? I'm going to put him in average. Again, I don't have any issue with him. I don't have any negative feelings of him necessarily. He has a lot of health, but for the most, so he can be a little bit annoying, a little bit grindy if you've not got a particularly strong run. But with where he shows up, I honestly think he's fine. He's not a super early boss. He's like a Caves' boss, right? I think he's fine. He's fine. He has a lot of health, but it is what it is. The balls are always annoying, and especially, you know, he's one of those where he's the more annoying the lower your damage is, or your DPS is, because, like, obviously his health, but then also he shoots the balls out, which are also annoying with lower damage. But I don't mind him. I think he's fine. I think he's a perfectly fine boss. This weird Hollow Knight looking Salt and Sanctuary creature. It looks like a pile of like guts with skulls on it. I think he's the guy that I basically only ever see in Boss Rush. I think he's a womb boss, and he pops up out. He's like one of the ones that goes underground, and then he pops up out and shoots his little like bloody tentacles at you, and he he shoots his little bloody tentacles at you, which is what this is. It's nothing else. That took me off here. What else does he even do? What can he do? He can spawn like little diglets, right? And can he shoot at you? I'm gonna put him average, just because I don't think he's a bad boss. I think he's fine. I just don't really remember what he even does. I honestly don't even know what this shit is, dude. It looks like a bunch of stinky diapers. So I'm just gonna put it in kinda sucks, because it must do if I don't even know what that thing is. Is it a fat worm? Is it a maggot? Maggot can go in kinda sucks. This is the weird little, like, worm thing that SpongeBob tries to sell chocolate to. Oh, let me just go get my mom, and then she brings the mum out, and it's in a wheelchair, and it looks like this. I actually know this boss. Again, I'm gonna hit you with an average. I think this is a pretty average Isaac boss. Again, a good one, a good average. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's good enough to be above average. It's not bad either. I think it's fine. For those, I keep calling these average. I'm taking that as like this is like, it's fine. They're like, I'm glad they're in the game. They're good to be in the game. It's fine, you know. They're just not overly, they don't overly excite me. But this dude, he shoots here, he spawns skeleton dudes, he does the lasers and stuff. I think his health's about right. He feels relatively fun to fight. Again, I feel like most of the time, I fight him in boss rush more than anything, than an actual boss. Brownie, I'm going to say, is, in my opinion, I kind of think Brownie sucks a little bit. If you have a lot of damage, he's so easy to just shred because he doesn't have much health. If you don't have damage and you don't shred him in the blink of an eye, he spawns his little tiny poops so quickly, and there's just so many of them. And then he starts slamming, and then he starts sliding around. He's just a pain, he's just annoying. And like, he's not like overly difficult, and if you take damage from him, you're not taking damage from him because he's difficult. You're taking damage from him because he's a pain in the dick hole. I keep saying dick hole all of a sudden. I don't know why. That's not a word that's like in my vocabulary. Like, I don't think I've said that before this video, and suddenly I'm saying it a lot, so sorry about that one. Maybe I'll just say dick hole now. Maybe that's just my thing. Maybe I'm just a guy that says dick hole sometimes. I don't know, he's just annoying. I don't know, I don't even think he's terrible boss design, and then he becomes a dingle, which is his own boss, and he's just annoying. He's just a little annoying. This thing is fucking disgusting, man. I'm putting that in kinda sucks just because that makes me feel ill to look at. So Ragman's an interesting one for me. I'm going to put Ragman in average, and this is one of the main bosses, I would say, if the boys do this, or I'll probably just post this video, I'll probably just link this video in the group chat later, just because I want to see what Maria does as well. Hey Maria, you should do a video too. That's not going to happen, but maybe, I don't know. Actually, probably don't would be my recommendation, unless you want to make another channel, just because it would mess with your branding a little bit. You suddenly, like, you know, your harp covers are starting to pop up. You've got a new one coming out in hopefully the next couple days, right, Josh? You want that sushi, brother, don't you? You want that sushi? Hopefully a new harp cover in the next couple days. Maybe a random Isaac tier list probably wouldn't fit the brand so well. But post it in the group chat. I want to see your tier list. That said, this is the main boss, probably, or one of the main ones. I would be interested to see where everyone put him, because we have, all as a group, and even beyond the group I'm talking to, right, the sort of the Binding of Mandem group, or people that were partaking in the Binding of Mandem, talking about it in the Discord, we all had some woes with Ragman. Early Ragman, and part of this is just like, I guess it's different on regular runs, he's ended many a daily early. If you have low health, especially if you get a bad champion, this guy fucking sucks, because he has not an insignificant amount of health, and he spawns the spiders that also have not an insignificant amount of health. And when you're trying to get the spiders one by one so you can get to him, and you just keep spawning more spiders and you can never get to him, it's one of the most frustrating situations that this game can put you in. And trust me, this game can put you in some frustrating situations. However, I do have to admit, when you're not in that entirely frustrating situation, if you're a little bit stronger, he's not too bad, and I actually don't even mind his attacks that he does. He shoots his cool, like, lasers out. I don't mind him spawning the spiders. And just as a boss, like I said with Flying Ragman, he just looks cool. He's just a cool looking boss in my opinion. I actually think like his visual design is really cool. And the spiders match it. I just think he's a cool looking boss. Is my camera still going? Oh my god, how long has my fringe been split down the middle like that? It's so bad, man. It gets so big so quick. That's what she said. I believe that might be what she said. I actually genuinely like his design. The problem is when he's annoying, he's very fucking annoying. So I wouldn't put him down here. I'd put annoyance level in the right moment. He could be like right out here. In terms of design, I'd honestly put him above average. So I'm gonna even it out at a cool. This thing is average. Little Horn, I'd say that's probably an average boss. He looks kind of cool. He's a cute little babe. His balls are a little bit annoying, and he kind of shoots at you sometimes. He's about average. Dingle, I mean, he's average. I don't mind him. He's not too hard to fight. He charges at you, which can be difficult to dodge, but his isn't the worst type of charge, because it's a straight line, so if he's coming at you, you just need to move sideways forehead. I'm going to say he's pretty much the average boss. And I'm speeding things up here just because I realise how long does this take him? Too long. Oh shit, I wanted this to be like a 20-minute video, and we're only 25 minutes in, and I'm not even halfway through. Delirium, so straight up, I fought him like once in my entire life. I just realised it happened again. I had no idea what this was earlier. Okay, so Delirium. I fought this guy like once. So I honestly just couldn't put him anywhere other than average. Small Satan, tiny Satan, little Satan, Abaddon, or something like that. No, this is Satan. This is Satan. This is Satan? Fucking hell, why are there so many... This is the Lamb. There's so many Satans. This is like Satan's brother or something. This is Abaddon, right? Something like that? Or like... I don't know. Whoever this is the one that gives you a devil deal, and he splits into two as well. I like this boss, actually. I wish he would show up more, because you get a devil item from him, which is cool. I think his design's cool. I think he just looks sick. He's just a cool-looking boss. I think his attacks are cool. He's the guy that splits in two, right? I'm scanning through. Is he? Why does he look different to what I think he looks like? Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy that splits in two. Yeah, okay. So I like when he does that, and I like that they charge you down. I like the laser. I actually have fun fighting with him. So I honestly, you know what, pretty good. I like this boss. He looks cool. This is Big Daddy Longlegs, but like with a big eyeball in it. This is Big Daddy Longlegs, and then this Big Daddy Longlegs has an eyeball for some reason. So I'm going to put him in above average just because he is a freaking cutie pie and he looks like something out of the Basement Collection. This is not a fistula. This is fake fistula. This is like, it's called like terracotta or like terracoma or something like that. It's terra something, right? It's like terracomo, terracota, terracoma. Terracomo? Teratoma? Teratoma. Teratoma? Teratoma? Katoma? Teratoma. It's called Teratoma, right? That sounds right. That sounds right. I mean, I don't know. I want to say above average because I don't mind it. But then I feel like that makes it, like, average. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? I don't feel like overly positive. It's fine. This is just, like... Look, I don't even know what I'm looking at. What is that, dude? I don't know what you are. Oh, this is the fella that pops in and out and you can only shoot his tail. He's actually, he's fine. I don't know, yeah, again, I'd say neutral. I don't know, it's a bit annoying that you can only attack him in limited ways, but honestly that kind of makes it a little bit unique, because I guess it's only a similar sort of thing to floaty Ragman. You can only attack at certain times, or to like anything like this that goes up in the sky. I don't know, he's fine, he's fine. This looks like a little fetus. This is a guy that has the wide rooms. I honestly just don't get him. I think he kind of sucks, you know? Because he's got his friends that are on the wall that you just shoot one by one. Yeah, they can get off the wall, but who cares? And then he doesn't do anything, really. Like, he only has one attack, where he shoots sideways. And then you just kind of, like, shoot him, and then sometimes he goes underneath, and you got to wait for him to come back up. And then he comes back up and shoots, and he leaves creep. So if your range isn't long enough, you got to wait for the creep to clear. But then that's kind of all he does. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't have any attacks. So in my opinion, I honestly just kind of don't really get him. I think he just needs to do something else. He just needs to do more. What is it? A big hand from heaven? A big fat hand from heaven? With like spots on it and stuff? I don't know, man, but it looks ugly, so I'm just going to put it in kind of sucks. This is Loki, but he's split in half for some reason. Loki's here. So you fight two of them, I guess. I actually kind of like Loki, so I guess I'm probably going to say that this is above average. Because that's where Loki's going, and it's the same thing. Big long legs man. I don't mind him. So I guess because I've said that for 3 bosses and they've all ended up here. I guess I've got to put him here. He just doesn't seem to do much. Like he stomps, and that's kind of it, really. What the fuck is this? What are you? I don't know what you are. You could be anything. That looks like a little tadpole. Like a little flesh tadpole. He splits. He's bald that splits. These are different. These pictures are different. He's not this colour. This is why it's throwing me off. They're all different colours to what they normally are, right? Yeah, they're all different colours. Why are they all different colours? These aren't the right colours. Why are they different colours? What the hell? I didn't even notice. Okay, well, I'm committed now. So that's yeah. I'll just blame it on that. If I've been getting them wrong, it's because they're all different colours for some reason. Except for like some of them who like this guy's always kind of pure black. This guy's red, but then like go even what's this? I mean I know what it is now because I thought about it. Actually, again, fine. He's fine. He's a fine Isaac boss, and I think he adds something to the game, and I'm glad he's in there. But he's not the most exciting boss in the world, so I'll stick him in there. This is Gish. Because I remember him because he had the standalone game, or he's like a reference to the standalone game. Yeah, a pain in the. Okay, I pressed the back button by accident. Thank you, cookies. Hopefully, there's nothing Minkus on there. Let me just check now. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, top Premier League player stats, Premier League, Harry Kane goals for England, all Harry Kane goals for England, Binding of Isaac. Okay, just making sure there was nothing Minkus in there that I needed to blur out. Although, like, there wouldn't be, because I'm a pure boy, and also, incognito exists. Not that, but I don't ever use it for anything. So, nothing to worry about. Don't even know why I checked. Instagram.com/s. Ooh, this is Matriarch again. Oh, why does it do this? Why does it do this? It did this when I did this by accident on one of my other tier lists. I went back by accident. It always takes the bottom ones from the bottom tier for some reason. Gish is actually, I would say, he looks cool. I like the way he looks visually, and I think his attacks are fine. I think he's reasonably well designed. Yeah, you know what? I'd say he's above average. The only problem, he's just annoying if he has quite a lot of health, I think. So he's just annoying if you're not on a strong run. This is Greed. This is Greed mode. I think it's a little bit excessive, to be honest. I think the bling, I think he's rubbing it in your face a little bit. I think you guys know how I feel about people who rub their financial situations in people's faces, or people who like bring it up all the time, you know. People who brag about that stuff. You know, what is it? Is Exodus 14? A humble man is all that we ever need. Kendrick Lamar. Another little joke for you. It's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. I wasn't quoting the Bible. I was quoting Kendrick Lamar quoting the Bible. It's just not very. I just think you need to bring yourself down a notch. You know what I mean? I think you just need to bring yourself down a peg. I don't know, man. I haven't played Greed mode that much, so I honestly don't know him that much. Actually, I actually kind of like him. I'd say he's above average just because he's something different. And the point of Greed mode is that the whole mode, it was like, oh, it's something different, you know? And I think he's fine. I actually think he suits the mode well. I think the coin aspect is cool. I need to speed up. This is Monstro 2. I'd say he's above average. I think he's a staple boss. I like his attacks. I like fighting him. He's fun. Mask of Infamy. I'm going to give him the Ragman treatment just because I actually think he's a cool boss. He's got an interesting gimmick. I think he looks cool. I like the idea of him like killing the heart first, and then he's like the back of him gets exposed. I don't really get why. Like I don't know what the logistics of that is. That like he can only be damaged via his like external heart, but then for whatever reason when the heart breaks, his like back breaks open and his guts are exposed. I don't really know what the fake lore behind that is. I think it's cool design. I'm just gonna bring it down a notch just because he's so fucking annoying. Loki, we established, can go up into above average. This could be anything. I don't know who this man is. I just have never seen him in my life, so I'm gonna put him in average because I can't remember him. This thing's fucking annoying. It stomps, but it stomps quickly. It has so much health. And then it stomps so quickly that it's hard to dodge its stomps because it shoots up and you're like, oh shit, move. But then it slams down before you have a chance to move out of the way. So if your speed isn't good, you just are going to take damage and it's annoying. And he rolls as well, which is also annoying. So it's two of the most annoying attacks he could possibly do and he has so much health. The blow, you're fucking dog shit. You're dog shit. Please get out of my face. It has so much health. And his lasers are. I don't know what it is about him because I think if you run his attacks through the system, his attacks aren't inherently that bad or that difficult. But for some reason, just like the connection of all of it together, he's just fucking difficult, man. He's so hard. Let's take a little bit of water here, if you don't mind. A little water break. This is Adversary. or adversary. I've never known how to say it. I actually, he's grown on me. I actually think his design's really cool. Him in like adversary, without band adversary 2 or like something like that. Adversary, the adversary, adversary. Is he adversary and he's the adversary? Or are they both just called adversary? I like the way they both look, and I think this guy in particular is like extra cool. I don't know why I prefer him over the other, because it's not just the bandit. He's like, I don't know, he's a little skinnier, and he only has like the one horn, I think, and it's kind of bent or something. I don't know, man. And his tail's like, I don't know. He's cool. I like the way he looks. And early on in my rebirth days, I hated him because he just killed me every time. As I've gotten used to him, I would say this guy's above average. I think he's a cool looking boss. I think he's got a cool design. Big Chad, I don't know, man. I'd say he's average. He's fine to exist, but he's a bit boring and a bit easy. The Wretched, he's fine. I think it's funny that he has like big long legs and just like a big toe on the end of each of his legs. That's kind of funny. This is like polyphemus, or like polyamorous, polyanimo. This is Poly Summit. He's called Poly Summit. This is big face on him, on like 3-headed stomach with a face on it. Diglets, Poly Diglets. Pretty Isaac boss. These are all like, as I said, I've said this a couple times already. These are all fine. These are good. I'm glad they're in Isaac. These are good Isaac bosses. They're just like, yeah, it's average. You've established. This is Greed again, but without the bling. So I'm gonna put him in above average, and I'm gonna demote Elon Greed for bragging. Peep, he's honestly like, he's annoying and yet somehow not like bad for it. Like, these guys annoying. These guys annoying. Ragman annoying. This one's annoying, and yet it's like, I'm fine with it for some reason. And for whatever reason, he's convinced me that it's fine. It's one of those things where it's like, I know that he's annoying, but I'm just like, whatever about it. It's like Tom Cruise, right, with his slaves. It's like, we kind of reached a point where everyone was like, we're pretty sure that Tom Cruise, like, probably has slaves. But then, like, his PR team has convinced people that, like, maybe he doesn't. So people just kind of drops it. This guy's fucking annoying. I know he is. But then, like, I don't know. For some reason, I'm fine with it. I like that, you know, like the progression. His eyes pop out. It gets a bit harder. Which is the same reason I like this guy. We chilling. This guy is like a ball with fire in his forehead. It's Lil Uzi Vert. That's Lil Uzi Vert right there. That's a 20-odd million gem he's got sat around floating in his forehead right now. Lil Uzi Vert, I actually like this guy. I think he looks cool. He's just a cool looking boss. Again, looks like something out of Hollow Knight or Salt and Sanctuary. I realize a lot of these bosses look like Salt and Sanctuary enemies, but like in the Hollow Knight art style, kinda. That's what this looks like. That's what this makes me think of. Or what was that game with the Castle Crashers? Something like that kind of art style. It's Isaac art style. I don't know why I'm comparing it to other games' art style. My cam's still going poggy. You still can't really see my face, so it doesn't matter. Hi guys. I like him. I like his attacks. I like he spits the hoppers out, which isn't annoying. I think it's perfectly fun. I just like the idea of it. I like that he does all the different like purple flame attacks. I think the purple flame attacks just look cool. This guy, oh shit! I just realised this is the guy that does the big heavy slam downs, not this guy. So, but yeah, he's going to go in there because just remember everything I said about this guy's slam attack and apply it to this guy. He's way too much health. He's big fat man. He's just called mega fatty, right? Which is funny. Yeah, he's just annoying. He just has a lot of health, and he isn't overly difficult. Like, all of his attacks except for the stomp are like easy, and then the stomp he just hits because it's hard to dodge. Like, it's just annoying. It's just an annoying attack. This isn't Lord of the Flies. This is like Lord of the Flies is like weaker cousin. This is like Lord of the Flies is like sad cousin. This is the Hollow, right? This is the Hollow. The Hollow is, I would say, average. very fine Isaac boss. I'm glad he's fine to exist. And good is like, you know, a single room thing when he shows up later on. He's fine. This thing is, I think, Pin, but not Pin, because this is Pin. This is Pin that digs, and then this is Pin that like goes like he floats diagonally, right? Again, he's average because he's not particularly exciting. He just kind of exists. So he's fine. He's fine in rooms and stuff, and you don't really get him as a boss. I don't think. I think you mostly just get him in regular rooms, so he's fine. This ball of guts is like, it's called Girdlet or something, or like Little Girdy, or is that the item? This is Tiny Girdy. This thing is so fucking obnoxious. The way it zooms at you, I think I'd be being the prick to be calling it, to say it kind of sucks, because I honestly don't think it's a bad enemy or bad design or anything. It's one of those enemies, you get a few enemies that are kind of similar, a few bosses that are kind of similar to each other thematically, they kind of fit in the same family tree, and I like that, like with Big Gertie and stuff, but the charge is just so, it's just so bad because I can't dodge it, because I'm bad at it, so I'm going to put him in average. Big Gertie, I actually like. I think it's a good boss. I think it's a fun boss. I like the variations of it. Sometimes it shoots more, sometimes he doesn't shoot and only spawns. I like it, I think it's fun. I can't believe, actually, now that I'm looking at the way this is progressing, I feel like I should bring Hush down, because I feel like Hush isn't one of my top 3 bosses. Like, the more I'm putting below Hush, I'm like, I don't rate Hush that much. Adversary's Son, hit you with a little above average. Chub, classic Isaac boss, he's fine. This thing, fuck it. Carrion Queen, it's just... Actually, it's not a terrible boss, man. This is biased, but fuck it, dude. It's my opinions. It annoys me. It pisses me off. I don't like fighting it. Blue Baby, I just honestly think is so terrible. I will never understand this boss, and it just baffles me. 45 minutes. Oh, it just baffles me. Okay, it's not that bad. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm being a little piss baby about it. I can feel my eyes. I can tell I haven't slept. I can feel my eyes going. I don't like Blue Baby. I've said this before to my friends. I don't like Blue Baby or Isaac. I don't think they're good. I don't get them, man. I don't understand. I don't think they're good. They just spam. This is the definition of going into like a fighting game and just spamming A because you don't know what the attacks do. You've spent all your run, like building your run, you know, getting items you want, you're re-rolling stuff, you're playing the shop, you're trying to, you know, meticulously build your deck to make it as strong as it possibly can be. You know, you're sat there, you're grinding your Nintendo Online ELO with Bowser Jr., with Queen Rosalina. You figured out all of her perfect combos. You've got your up A followed by your down left right B right trigger, ultra super star slam, and then you go in a game, the elo server's down, so you get matched up with a new player and they kick your ass because they stun lock you by just mashing the A button. That's what these bosses are. They just button mash. That's all they do. They button mash, in my opinion. Big Steven and Small Steven, that's an Isaac boss. This is the Wretched again, so I don't know why this fella's shown up twice, so I'm just going to put that in average. This is Pin. I actually like Pin. I think he's kind of cute, and he's got his cute little sad face, which is relatable. Hashtag mood. That's mood, am I right? A little bit of a mood right there. Hey, this is me sometimes. This is me when I'm sad. This is me when I'm a bit sad. Sad face. Hashtag mood. Ooh, did I move someone by accident there? I think I moved this guy, right? By accident? Was he supposed to be up here? Monstro. I like Monstro. He's the classic Isaac boss. If you said to me outside of this and you just came up to me in the street and you went, think of an Isaac boss, Monstro pops into my mind. He's fun. He just looks very Isaac. He's classic. He's classic Isaac. Obviously, you know, he's one of the vanilla bosses. So that probably helps his case in terms of being like a classic Isaac boss, you know, same as something like Pin or Lil Peeper. I like him. He's fun to fight in my opinion. He's never, especially even if you get him on the very first floor. I think he's like, I mean, if anything, I would probably pick him as the boss I'd want to fight on the first floor. Yeah, he's fun. I never will be sad at the sight of Monstro. This is the Hollow again, but he's like on the ground. So I know what this thing's called. Oh, fuck, dude. I absolutely know what that thing's called. What is that? Okay, it doesn't matter. This guy is so this guy's on in the air and goes diagonally. This guy's in the ground and he goes straight. So I don't know, man. What do you want me to say? I'll just put him in average. This is Lil Horn. He's another one of those where I think I'm gonna put him above average because I think his design is cool. He looks cool. I think it's an interesting dynamic where you've got to kill the little guys first, and then he goes onto the wall and like he moves to the left and to the right. There's no other boss that does that. I just think it's interesting. I like, if he's on my Genshin tier list, I like things that are a little bit different. I like the characters that stand out a little bit. He is, though, the only thing is I think he's a little bit strong for early runs. If you're playing a character with low health, you're on a daily or something, you get chucked in a character with low health and you get no good starting item and you get him first. Yeah, he's ended some daily runs early. In which case, on those days, I would put him nowhere above average. But I actually think he's a pretty neat little boss. These are tiny little baby Gerties. Oh, these are, I like their name. This is Gurglings, right? I don't mind these. They're not really a boss, so I'm just going to put them in average. But I don't mind them. This is, he's like conjoined twin. Classic Isaac. I think he's a totally fine boss. Can be a little bit annoying when you kill the first one and this guy's bouncing around the place like a pinball. This is Teratomo, but of flesh form. Could I put it above average because I just think it's something a little bit different. I think this is the OG. Okay, sure. Little weird tadpole in like a force field is the same concept kind of, and then like I put Teratomo here. But this is the OG, so he gets OG credits. OG tax. Lord of the Flies, or with man, like, ball thing with flies in his mouth, is what this guy is. I actually think is fucking sick. That design of, like, a weird, just, like, ball, I don't even know what it actually is, but it already looks kind of cool. But then when I first, the first time, like, or if this must have been back in Vanilla Isaac days, I first noticed it. I assume, but whenever it was, I very first noticed the detail of the fact that when he opens his mouth is just full of flies. Like he's a sack, basically. He's just a sack that's just full of flies, and he's got those 4 little legs that are kind of cute. He's always got them buzzing around him, and his whole thing is that he's just shooting flies. And you're trying to hit him, but then he's like surrounding himself with like with like the halo of flies. And then you're trying to break the flies, but then you're also trying to break the flies he's sending at you. I actually just think he's a really cool, again, he kind of epitomizes Isaac for me. He's just a cool boss, he just looks cool, the design is just really cool. It's disgusting, don't get me wrong. That many flies just all bundled together, actually, like, vile. But it's such a cool design, man. The Lamb is, in my opinion, the best boss in the game, the only ending, the true ending, and I refuse to accept any otherwise option. I do not understand why people don't, like, why people go to Blue Baby before the Lamb. I know the chest. I know you get the chest. You get four chests. You get 4 items at the start of it. Sick, dude. But, like, at that point, are you not hoping that you're strong anyway, I guess? I don't understand. I just don't know why people prefer Blue Baby to the Lamb. I don't get it. Cause like he's just button my. This guy has attacks for one. He floats around. He's got his attacks, and he has cool phases. This guy's phase, or this guy's phase. Oh, I'm like lying, curled up in a ball, crying. Great, dude. Welcome to the club. And then he stands up. Oh, that's exciting. It's just a baby. It's just like a small toddler who's like lying down, crying, and then he stands up, and then he gets wings. The wings are pretty cool. I'll give him the wings. But then like that's it, right? Look at this dude. What is this? You can't see it because it's against a black background. That's fucking dope, man. What is that? He's got this sick. It's like a skull with like these dope ass like thick, curvy horns and like a weird floaty skull body. That thing's fucking awesome, man. Like, why are you picking these? And these things just, they just blast tears at you and then shoot random lights out of the sky that you can't even dodge. You've got to just go into a corner and hold your breath and hope for the best. This guy's fucking dope. And then you get past his first phase and he splits into two, and he's got his body that's like shooting out the tears at you, and he's got his head that like shoots like purple. He breathes fire. He shoots purple fire out at you, and then he also can like charge at you. This boss is so cool. It's fun to fight. He doesn't have too much health. I think these guys have too much health. He has the right amount of health, in my opinion. He splits off. He feels satisfying to kill. These guys don't even feel satisfying to hit. It doesn't feel satisfying when they die. To me personally, that I get no satisfaction out of killing them. It just doesn't. I don't feel anything out of killing them. But this guy feels like when you kill him, it's like he pops. It feels good. It's such a good boss, and this is, in my opinion, the most fun boss to fight against in the game. And I feel like I say that like if you've got like a decent run or a good enough boss a run to compete, or if you have a good enough run to completely shred him, totally fun. If you get to the end of a game with a shit run, these fights are hell. These fights are difficult. They're just annoying. It's just a grind to try and kill these guys with a low damage run. It's so annoying. Guarantee. Disagree. Look me in the eyes and disagree with me. Like, pulling my webcam up. I'm pulling the big one up. Look me in the eyes and disagree with me. You've got a shit run, low damage, base damage. You've maybe picked up 1 damage upgrade. Your Isaac, your damage is like 4.2. You've got like 8 tier rate. It's such a crap run, and these happen. You've made it to the womb, not the womb. You've made it to the chest. You get to blue baby. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's not fun, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that's fun. On the other hand, the lamb actually, it's still annoying, especially because you've had to have gone through the whole run with a bad run. But it actually feels like it's a challenge. It feels like a challenge. This just feels like an annoying grind. It actually, even with a bad run, it still feels reasonably fun, in my opinion. To fight the lamb. I just think he's a fun boss to fight regardless of the circumstances. Dingle gonna hit you with an average. What the heck is that, dude? It's like a ghost and then a dead child. So they're gonna hit you with an average on that one. Oop. Where did he go? Where did he go? Where did it go? The heck? Where did it? Oh no, I accidentally put him in get the frick out of here. Sorry, dude. Didn't mean to do that to you. This is Satan. I think Satan is pretty good. I like this boss. I like the design of him. I think he looks cool. Obviously, he looks very similar to the Fallen. I fucking knew. I'm telling you, the Isaac subconscious is incredible. It's amazing what sinks into your brain after 600 hours. He looks similar, right? This right here is Baby Satan. So if I liked his design, obviously I was gonna like Big Satan's design. I think he look. I mean, and obviously you don't fight this, but then like when he looks like this. But I like that, you know, he spawns the Fallen, which is fine. It's like he sends his son out to fight you. And then he looks really cool as a boss. I like his attacks. I like the way he shoots at you. I like the stompy goat legs. I don't know. He's fun. I think he looks dope. I think he's fun to fight. Mom's Heart / It Lives, if you want to be like that. Actually, yeah, I like this boss. I think he's above average. I just realised Mom isn't even on here. Yeah, what the heck? Of all the bosses in an Isaac boss tier list, you forgot Mom. That's wild. It Lives, I think it's fun. I like his attacks. I think can be pretty difficult. I think if you've got a strong run, it's never usually difficult. But if you don't have a strong run, it can be pretty difficult, but not annoyingly so. I like it. It Lives is fun. I think it's fun. I think it's fine. I think it's a good middle ground, but I think it's the right level of difficulty. The earlier on, when you're still relatively new to the game, and you're far enough into the game that you've unlocked it, but not far enough that you're past that. And that sort of bit where that's your end boss. I think it's difficult enough at that point to be the end boss. But then as you get better at the game and you learn how to make runs work a little bit better and you know take a little bit less damage, I think it works as like a good middle ground boss. I think it's fun. And I don't mind fighting it every run. like having the same end boss every time makes sense. But I think it's an interesting thing that they have Mom and Mom's Heart, which are like it's the same every time, but in the middle of the runs. It's a little different. So I think it's good that it's a boss that works, that I don't mind fighting every time. And even with the end bosses, they're the same, but you still got to pick the path, right? And then this is Mega Saturn, who I would also say is, I would say above average. I don't get too carried away. I don't fight him a ton. I don't know. I've always been a little bit mixed on the no health bar thing. I like that it's a little bit different. I like that element, but also sometimes I just want to know his health bar because I don't really know what I'm doing or when I'm attacking him. He can be tough when he starts to spawn the horseman in, and he does the thing where he spawns 4 of him. If you've got a not strong run, yeah, he's really fucking difficult. But I actually think he's reasonably well designed. I think it's pretty fun the way you got to kind of shoot his hands, and then you know you shoot his face, and then he comes back with, you know, his face has come off and he's a skull dude and he looks really cool. I think he's a cool boss. So that said, you can probably hear. I just want to apologize because I feel like as I started this, I was like, hey, I've got second burst energy. Now that as I've been sat here recording this, I'm like, this video has all nighter energy. This video has a weird energy to it. So I apologize if this felt like my tone was a bit flat today, or if the energy was a bit low, or if I sounded like I was being a bit mardy. It's just because I'm tired, so I apologise for that. But that's my tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I as always, will leave a link in the description to the raw tier list. As I said, it does have its own things, although I put my own on anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter if I was changing them regardless. So you may want to put your own on, but either way, if you want to have it be just the letters, then you'll have to change them. But other than that, this is my tier list. That's it. I don't know what else to tell you, because my brain at some point in this video, probably about a third of the way in, a quarter of the way in maybe, my brain kind of just shut off. My throat shut off, my brain just shut off, and my mouth and also my brain shut off. But that's pretty much it. These guys suck. That's that. And there you go. So I apologize for the low energy video today, or the weird vibed video. But that's my list. As I said, link will be in the description. I would love to see Josh and NSL do it. Although I'll be posting this in the group chat later anyway, so I'll get opinions regardless. And obviously I want to see Maria's. I want to see yours as well. That said, let me check out. I'd be curious here to see, and I'll put it back for the outro. I'd be curious to see the community rankings. If there's anything like outrageous that I notice here. If it loads, maybe it won't load. That'd be fun. Okay, I'm hungry. Okay, community. What's the average? Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, this is stupid, and I hate this. Why does it do this? The average. It's always either like good and real, or it's garbage. I don't understand how this happens. Like I don't. And now's the worst possible time to try, so I'm not going to. But my brain doesn't quite pass how, like, the math works to get to this situation on these. Like, what stands out here? Okay, Matriarch and Bloat both. Wow, people hate Bling Greed. Wow, really? Where's regular Greed? So people don't like Greed. But I guess if Elon Greed is really the biggest, the only one that's down here, people really hate Bling Greed. Also, people are taking the piss if they genuinely. You're taking the piss if you're looking at all of these and go. You really just never get hit against any of these. Blue Baby and Blue Baby, it lives. Fucking Carrion Queen. Some of them fair enough. And this is okay. To be fair, this is the problem. These are the original rankings here. Likely to not get hit. Might take a hit. This is difficulty. They're being ranked on difficulty here, which wasn't the point. So I guess we're not looking at this like you'd look at mine. But you're giving yourself way too much credit. These people are taking the piss. These people are bragging way too much if they genuinely think that like 90% of the bosses in the game are easy or very easy. So just don't play the game anymore. So you don't play the game anymore is what you're telling me, because you've given up because the game's too easy for you. So you don't play anymore. That's what you're telling me. Easy might take a hit if unlucky. You fuckers. You little fuckers. You cheeky gits, man. Depends on the room. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I appreciate you all. Share your tier list with me. If you're going to do a video, then you should do it. And I will watch it. If you're not going to do a video, then let me know your thoughts later. Or in the comments section. I feel like collapsing. So maybe I'll go take a nap. But also I have videos to do, so I'm not going to do that actually. Appreciate you all. This video went on for way too fucking long, man. As they always do, and I wish they didn't. I thank you genuinely. If you've watched this video, I really do appreciate it so much, because the videos on this channel are way too long. So I apologize for that, but thank you. I really do appreciate you all so much. Thank you once again to Maria for giving me content, and I will wrap it up here and go and get my hair cut it with scissors right now. I'm gonna go shave it all off. I'm gonna be bald. I'm gonna go bald. I hope you guys hope you enjoyed me having hair while it lasted. It's later. Bonk.